You ever look around and wonder, why am I always the one standing alone? You're kind, real, deeply spiritual, and yet, when it comes to real connection, it's like you've been placed on an island no one else can reach. Let me be clear, this isn't by accident. This is by design. Because if you're a chosen one, the universe has been pulling people away from you, not because you're meant to be alone forever, but because you were never meant to blend in. There's a secret spiritual law no one talks about. The more awakened you become, the fewer people can hold your frequency, and the more aligned you are with truth, the more false energies will automatically fall away. So when your phone goes silent, when people disappear, when you feel like you're walking through life solo, it's not punishment. It's purification. See, before you were even born, your soul was encoded with a rare frequency, a mission, a vibration that would eventually challenge everything around you. Family patterns, generational curses, cultural norms, karmic systems. You weren't sent here to fit into society. You were sent to shift it, and that level of soul work can't be done in crowds. Most people are addicted to distraction, noise, validation, but not you. You crave depth, truth, silence, and that's what separates you from the world. The divine has removed certain people from your life, not because they're bad, but because their energy is too loud, too messy, too diluted to walk beside a soul like yours. And when you start spiritually rising, the universe doesn't let just anyone near you. Your aura becomes sacred territory. Your spirit becomes magnetic, but only to the few who've been spiritually upgraded to meet you there. The reason you feel like nobody understands you is because most people have been trained to avoid depth, and you are depth. There's a loneliness that only chosen ones know. It's the ache of being surrounded by people, yet still feeling invisible. It's the pain of being the strong one, the healer, the one everyone runs to when they're broken, but having no one to run to when you're the one bleeding. And it's because your presence isn't just emotional support, it's spiritual activation. Your energy doesn't just comfort, it exposes what others haven't healed yet, and not everyone's ready for that mirror. So yes, you lose friends, you lose lovers, you lose crowds, but you find something greater. You find alignment. You find your purpose. You find the reason you were never meant to walk with the many, but to lead the few. When people ghost you, betray you, or distance themselves after you've done nothing but love them, it's because your presence forced them to confront a version of themselves they were trying to avoid. Your energy doesn't let people stay fake. Your vibration forces masks to fall. And when that happens, they have two options: evolve or exit. Most choose the easy one, exit. And you sit there wondering, was it me? Yes, but not because you did anything wrong. It was you because your soul shines too brightly to be hidden in shallow spaces. It was you because your energy speaks louder than your words. It was you because your frequency disturbed their comfort zone. Friendship, real, sacred friendship, is not based on time. It's based on energy. And most people's energy is incompatible with yours. You're not looking for gossip buddies. You're looking for soul family. People who don't just hear you, but feel you. People who recognize you across lifetimes. People whose spirit doesn't get overwhelmed by your truth, but is awakened by it. And here's what nobody tells you. Isolation is part of initiation. Your loneliness is not a curse. It's a refinement. It's the universe clearing the space for people who match your next level. And if that space feels empty right now, that's because what's coming is sacred. The divine doesn't put diamonds in the same bowl as gravel. And that's exactly what your energy is. Rare, raw, radiant diamond light. So if you feel like you're walking alone, just know you're not lost. You're being positioned. This isn't rejection. This is redirection. You're being spiritually quarantined because your mission requires clarity, not crowd noise. Your isolation isn't just a pause between connections. It's an activation chamber. Every moment you've spent misunderstood, unseen, or spiritually alone has been sharpening your inner world in ways the outer world could never comprehend. While others are out there chasing attention, approval, and empty social noise, you've been in the fire, refined, stripped of illusion, being spiritually forged into something the world hasn't seen yet. This is the real reason you've been hidden in plain sight. The universe doesn't expose divine energy before it's ready. There are spiritual laws at work that ensure your gifts are developed in secret, so they can't be corrupted by clout, competition, or ego. While you've been crying out, wondering why no one sees you, Spirit has been whispering, just wait. I'm not done sculpting you yet. And what you're becoming, that kind of power we've been wasted in the company you used to keep. Those surface-level friendships weren't designed to hold the new version of you that's rising. Because the new you, you're not just a person anymore. You're becoming a frequency, a walking transmission. And people will either feel healed by your presence or deeply uncomfortable in it. This is why your isolation doesn't mean you're being punished. It means you're being preserved. Think about it. Every time you tried to force a connection, it fell apart. Every time you ignored your intuition to stay close to someone who didn't match your energy, you were drained. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual design. The Most High doesn't let chosen vessels stay in the wrong environments. You are too valuable to be contaminated by energies that don't reflect your calling. You're not meant to be part of every circle. You're not meant to be accessible to everyone. You're being positioned for divine alignment, and that requires divine protection. So if you've been feeling like no one gets you, good. That means you've outgrown the version of you that needed to be understood. You don't need to be understood anymore. You need to be activated. And that activation happens in solitude. That's where the real upgrades download. While the world sleeps, you've been evolving. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's a spiritual GPS. Your intuition isn't paranoia. It's prophetic vision. And your isolation, that's not loneliness. That's the womb of rebirth. You're not being left behind. You're being prepared. You're learning how to hear the whispers. You're learning how to decode the signs. You're learning to trust your own voice above the crowd's opinions. You're being trained to lead, not follow. That's why they couldn't come with you. That's why you had to walk away. That's why Spirit shut every door you were begging to stay open. Because if they stayed, they would have blocked the blessing. They would have diluted your discernment. They would have distracted you from your divine assignment. You're not missing out on friendships. You're being elevated beyond the reach of what's fake, fearful, and spiritually fragile. Your silence has been speaking. Your presence has been growing. And soon, without forcing, without chasing, without begging, the right souls will start to find you. Not because you went looking, but because your frequency became too powerful to ignore. These souls, they won't question your depth. They'll speak it. They won't shrink from your truth. They'll stand in it. They won't be intimidated by your calling. They'll activate it. You've been praying for connection, but what you're really craving is resonance. And resonance only comes after the pruning, after the breaking, after the deep solitude that teaches you who you truly are without the world's noise in your ear. Your isolation is not emptiness, it's alignment. Every person who left, every friend who faded, every silence that stung, it was all creating a space so that your real tribe could find you. Not the ones who want your energy, but the ones who match it. But Spirit won't send those people to the old version of you. That's why the isolation had to last this long. Because it wasn't just about removing others, it was about revealing you. You had to unlearn the performance, the people-pleasing, the watered-down version of yourself you created just to feel accepted. And now, that version has crumbled. What's left is raw, real, unapologetically divine. And when those aligned souls arrive, they won't be confused by your light. They'll feel like they've known it for lifetimes, because they have. This isn't fantasy. This is sacred timing. You were meant to be hidden. Because what you carry is sacred. Because what you're becoming is needed. And because the moment you fully step into your truth, the entire frequency of your life will shift. When your frequency upgrades, so does your entire timeline. You start to notice people don't just enter your life randomly anymore. Every connection becomes surgical. Every encounter is encoded. And it's not about quantity anymore. It's about divine quality. You don't need 10 friends. You need one soul who sees you without filters. One spirit who recognizes the codes you're carrying because they've been carrying their own. This is when everything changes. You're no longer chasing energy. You're attracting it. You're no longer begging for belonging. You're becoming the place where others find it. Because when your isolation has served its full purpose, it doesn't just leave you healed. It leaves you electrified. You begin to emit a spiritual voltage that only the right souls can feel. Not with their eyes, with their spirit. You've walked through fire. You've sat in the silence. You've battled inner demons with no one watching. And now, the divine is orchestrating your emergence. Quietly, powerfully, authentically. You've been hidden because your light was too sacred to be handled by the unprepared. But now that you've embodied it, the right people, the ones written into your soul's contract, are being guided to you. And they're not coming because you're loud. They're coming because your frequency speaks. And only those who've been through their own spiritual fire can hear it. These are not ordinary connections. These are reconnections, reunions of purpose, of past lives, of divine missions that require 2 or more awakened souls to lock in and ignite the next phase. You'll feel it instantly. No pretending, no explaining, no shrinking, just recognition. This is what your isolation was preparing you for. Real connection, raw, spirit-to-spirit alignment. You've been starved of it because the world is full of masks, but once you remove your own, you become a magnet for those who've done the same. Your presence now carries a signature, a divine code, a vibration so pure that it repels anything fake, anything that drains, anything that doesn't resonate with truth. That's why even now, you'll still notice people leaving. Some will feel overwhelmed. Others will misread you. That's okay. That's the energy doing its job. Your light will always cleanse what's not in harmony. But when the aligned ones come, they won't flinch. They won't flee. They won't fumble your energy. They'll honor it. They'll mirror it. They'll speak life into it without even trying. Because they're walking their own chosen path too. You'll look in their eyes and realize you were never alone, just separated until ready. See, chosen ones don't just find people, they find vessels. Souls who've also been hidden, also been refined, also been molded by divine silence. And when you come together, it won't be friendship, it will be remembrance. Oh, there you are. I've felt your frequency for lifetimes. This is what happens when activation becomes ascension. You stop moving through life trying to find your place and start becoming the place others rise into. You stop being affected by the old wounds because your healing became your protection. You stop needing everyone to understand you because now you understand yourself. And the moment you fully accept who you are, everything around you begins to shift to meet you there. This is the divine orchestration unfolding. Your presence begins aligning people, spaces, timelines without you even trying. You walk into a room, and the energy feels it. You speak a word, and it lands like prophecy. You make eye contact, and someone feels seen for the first time in years. It's not ego, it's essence. It's the result of spiritual weight earned in solitude. You've become what they don't teach, what they don't expect, what they don't know how to handle, because the world is not used to unfiltered truth wrapped in human form. And that's exactly what you are now. A frequency wrapped in flesh. A reminder that light walks too. And yes, it's still a lonely path at times. Not because you're broken, but because the air is thinner at higher altitudes. Fewer people can breathe where you're going. But those who can, they're on their way. Guided, selected, timed. Just like you were. So don't resent the silence. Don't mourn the ones who left. Don't chase what's fading. Let the old fall. Let the noise go. You didn't come here to blend. You came here to build. You didn't come here to be liked. You came here to be lit from within. And when others feel that fire, they'll either run from the heat or rise in it. That's not your responsibility. Your only task now is to stay aligned, to keep your channel clear, to honor the sacredness of what you've become, because the real ones, they're not coming to be entertained. They're coming to awaken. You are the signal now, the lighthouse, and the ones meant to find you. They will, not because of what you say, but because of what your energy remembers. So if you've ever wondered why you had no friends, it's because the old you had to be alone. So the real you could be born, and the ones who match your soul, they weren't missing. They were being prepared. Your tribe isn't late. They're right on divine time. No fluff, just destiny.